Hello everyone, how are you today? Welcome back to Grafter Technology. It's been a while. I haven't made some posts here. That's because I was busy. I'm back now. So in this video, I'll be showing you how to create a fillable form in Microsoft Word. What is fillable form? Fillable form in Microsoft Word is formatted and protected to allow you or participants enter information. Participants cannot change the formatting therein in the form. All right, you can use controls such as plain text. You would see this is a form I already did. You can use controls such as plain text, check boxes. You can see that. And plain text, here you can also use the drop down list. All right. And you can also make it flexible where participants can key in their own information. You can use controls such as date picker. You would see that. All right, here you can also allow your participants to insert picture. So the same thing is here. This is drop down list. Okay, and there's also what we call the rich text and the plain text content control. So all right, so that is it in this form. Okay, so let's jump in to the tutorial so you see how to create this type of fillable form. This is my Word document that I like to transform into a fillable form. Alright, so it's just a small questionnaire. It's about graphic technology radio competition. So I like to get or obtain information about participants' basic information, just the basic information regarding the participants. So here you would see that I do have questions such as what is your name, are you a student of the school, which is graphic technology, if yes, what level are you in, and all of that. And then this section here is the riddles. You read the riddle and you complete, you say what you think the answer is. And number 10 here is optional. You type in a new riddle. So I'm going to take you through this basic information and the riddle competition part, and I want to turn this into a fillable form. To create a fillable form, I have to hover my mouse to the ribbon and turn on a new tab. Okay, you can see here I have the file, home tab, insert, design, layout, references, mailings up to the view tab. By default you get all of that. So I need to turn on a new tab to enable me to create a fillable form. So to do that, hover your mouse to where you have the ribbon, just anywhere it's fine, and then right click. A contest menu appears, or a pop-up menu appears. So you would see just there are three buttons there. Click on the second one, which is customize the ribbon. So you will see this dialog box appears just at the right hand side. You will see several menus or boxes that are checked. So by default all of this are checked. The ones that aren't, you would see that are not checked is the draw. Alright, the box, the draw is not checked, and the developer. So I need to check the developer because that's what I need to customize the fillable form. So I'll put a tick there and then click on the OK button. So look by the ribbon, you will see a new tab has appeared, which is the developers tab. So I'm going to click on that. Here I am in the developers tab. If you look closely, you will see that there are various groups here, which is the code, add-ins, controls, mapping, protect, templates, controls. These are all controls in the developers tab. Not to be worried, I'll be only in this video I'll only focus on the controls group, where I'll be using different functions here in creating the fillable forms, and then I'll move on to the protect section to restrict editing of the form. Okay, so let's go in and start creating our fillable form. So here I'm just going to place my cursor there and hover my mouse to the ribbon. So in the controls group here, you would see these are the controls that I can use. So here there are two kinds of text entry. So the first one is the rich text content control, and the second one you will see that appear there, plain text content control. So I'll be working with the plain text content control. Now the difference between the rich text content control and plain text content control is that a rich text content control can contain custom formatted text. By that I mean you can format each of the word in the box, alright? Or other items like tables, you can insert tables, pictures, or other content controls. But a plain text content control is limited to plain text only. It cannot contain other items like tables. I'm going to show you an example of that. So I'll just go ahead and click over here the plain text content control. Alright, so looking at this, you will see in this section, the box there is grayed out. It says click or tap here to enter a text. So let me just adjust this form a little bit. Alright, so I just want the box to be like that. Okay, this box is grayed out. I can go to the ribbon where in my controls and you'll see the properties. So if I click on the properties, this is content control properties. Alright, so I can type in title, tag, but this section is important if you want to link this form to a database. But for this video, I'm not linking it to a database, so I'm going to ignore this part. So show us. So here is the bounding box. There are other buttons that you can choose. What this simply means is it's by default is bounding box. All right, so that's the gray section that you see in that box over here. So let me choose start end. All right, the start end, and click on the OK. You'll see how it looks. So if I adjust this part a little bit, all right, simply tells me click or tap here to enter a text. It tells me where it starts and where it ends, but I do like the default part, so I'll go back and click on that properties from the ribbon and choose what I have as a bounding box. So you can go ahead and try the none section, and these are, I can also color this, put a color there so someone knows that at that section they need to key in information. So what if I make it brown? Is that a brown? And click on the OK. So here you will see it's no longer grayed out. It's giving me that particular color, so I'm gonna leave it at that. And let's go to the second question. Are you a student of the school? So there's a yes and there's a no. I want to put a checkbox here. So in front of the yes, I want to include a checkbox. All right, so I'll put a little space. I'm back to my controls button. This is my checkbox. I'll put a checkbox there, and here put a little space. Back to the controls, developers tab, the controls group. I'll click on that. I also added a checkbox. So like I did say, once it's grayed out, you see the person can click. Once that is there, I would go to my controls and click on the properties. Now the same content control properties is there. So these are different things that you can actually do. So I'm focusing on this part, checkbox properties. Now checked symbol, you can choose how your check symbol would look like, and uncheck symbol how it looks like. So by default I like what I see, so let me just customize this part, the color section, to be the same thing as the first question that I did initially, which is brown. So I will leave it at brown and click on the OK. So that is brown. So when somebody hovers around there, it's not going to gray out, but it's going to show a brownish color. So the same thing on this. I'll click on the properties in the control controls group and change the color here to brown. So you can just go ahead, go through this section and see what best suits you. But that is just me changing. You can leave it to be gray or by default as it's created, and this is okay for me, so I'll click on the OK button. Alright, so far I have entered, I've created two stuffs here. Now the next question there is, if yes, what level are you in? So I'm gonna, at this point, I'm gonna be entering the plain text content control. So back to my controls group, this is my plain text content control, and here is also my plain text content control. So I'll just click on that. As usual, this is just the first thing, the same thing I did initially. It's grayed out here, but here is brownish, so I'll go ahead and change the color there to be brown and click on the OK. Alright, so it just has to be uniform. So the same thing, how did you hear about us? Plain text content control, so let's do that. Click on plain text, go to properties, change the color, and that is okay for me. Now the other thing I want to talk about is the date section, because if someone is trying to get into this competition, you need to fill in the date when you answered, the date you participated in the competition. So in the number 5 question, enter date. So back to the controls section, and here this part, the controls here, this one is date picker content control, so I'll click on that date picker content control. Alright, from here, if I click on that, you would see this person can choose the date. By default, this is how it is. So let's go to the properties. Now you would see that there are different formats of date. Alright, so let me change the color here to brown so it's uniform. Now going back to display the date like this, by default, this is how it's gonna come, and this is the date format. I can change the date format to be any of these. Alright, 19th December 2020. So let's see, let's go with that formatting and click on the OK button. So once anybody chooses a date here, it's going to give me that particular formatting. So here is an optional one. Optional here. All right, insert your photo for a chance to enter a draw. Insert a photo for a chance to enter a draw. This is for me to show you that you can insert, or you can create your fillable form where people, allowing your participant to insert a picture. So in this section, back to my controls, now this is where I can click on the picture. This button here is the picture content control, so I'll click on the picture content control. All right, scroll a little bit up. All right, so from here, whoever that is filling this form can just click on this section and choose picture from his file, online pictures, or from icons. All right, from file can be from your computer or from any other place. All right, so I'll just close that section. You can see this section is quite big. I may just click on this and reduce the size of the picture or how it appears. Alright, so far you have seen different controls that have been inserted on this section. Taking you a little back to where number 4 question, where I have, how did you hear about us? If you notice, initially I inserted the plain text content control. Now I just for you to get, so if you have inserted a control and you're not happy with the control, here I want to put the drop down list. Okay, so to delete a content control, what you need to do is right click over your mouse to that content control, right click, and then you will see the pop-up menu there. Here you would see remove content control. All right, so you click on that content control, and then you will see remove content control. All right, so that has been taken off. I want to put a drop down list where participants can choose from the drop down list how they heard about this riddle competition. So there are two kinds of controls here. The first one there is the combo box content control. A participant can type in his or her response or answer. They are not limited to the options in the drop down list. While this other button, drop down list content control, participants are limited to choose from the drop down list. So I'm going to make this particular one a little bit flexible, where participants can also key in their information on how they heard about us. This will help us know how they heard about us and even spread the marketing in the next riddle competition. So I'm going to click on that particular one. So like always, once it's grayed out, I'll go to the controls group, the properties tab. Now I will go straight to, again, I'm just going to color that section brown so it's in unison. Now back to the drop down list. What kind of list, what do I want to see at that section? All right, so I can go ahead and add. So I'll click on the add button. Another dialog box comes out. Here I can type in Instagram. All right, click on the OK button, type in. I'll just make 3 stuff there. The other one will be WhatsApp. All right, and that's it. Once you finish typing in or keying in the information that you want to see in the drop down list, then go ahead and click on the OK button. Now if I click on this section and click on my drop down list, I would see my drop down list there, which is the Instagram, YouTube videos, and WhatsApp. Now let's say the participant doesn't want to, that's not where they got to hear about this radio competition. They can easily, they have the chance to probably type in email, right? So they can key in email there. All right, so that's it when it comes to the difference between the combo and the drop down list content control. So furthermore, where I have the riddle section, all right, so in this section I'm going to be using the drop down list content control. I have shown you how this works. All right, this is a bit flexible, where participants can key in their own response, and here the drop down list, participants are restricted to the list in the drop down. So I'm gonna click on that, and here the same thing. If I click on the down arrow, there's nothing there because I haven't added list of information. So why is still grayed out? I'll go to the properties, the controls group, and here add a few list of stuff that I want. Sponge, click on the OK. Now you don't need to worry about the value. All right, just type in display name there. So the second one is towel. All right, and click OK. The third stuff I want to add is the egg, and click on OK. So that's fine for me. That's what I want to be displayed, and I'll click on the OK button. Right, so making it a little bit bold. The question there is, I am full of holes, I can hold water, what am I? All right, so these are drop down list sponge, so participant can just choose the response there or the answer to be sponge. Now in this case they cannot type in anything, so I'll go ahead and do the same thing for all of this section. The number 9, I'll go ahead and use the drop down content control, click on the properties, add, type in sponge. Okay, I want more information there. I type in, the next one is towel, the enter key, and I want the next information there will be egg. So OK, and I press the OK in the dialog box. So these are the content controls with the drop down list. Right, remember I did tell you that I'm going to show you the difference between the rich text content control and the plain text content control. So in the optionals here, number 10 and 11, you would see that I do have type in a new riddle. So here I have typed in, this is my rich text content control that I entered. So the question here is, what goes up and down but never moved? So that's a riddle. Now here I can easily double click and highlight any word there and color it the way I want. So I'll just color this and change that color to red. Alright, so this is rich text content control. So if I do the same thing in the plain text content control, alright, so double click on any word, try to color it. I do not have that option, alright, or flexibility to format the content in the plain text content control. So the rich text content control gives you that flexibility, and you can customize it the way you want in this box. Alright, so that is it, the difference between the rich text content control and plain text content control. I'll scroll a little bit up to see what I have here. Okay, so that is it. What is your name? They can key in their information. This is my checkbox. So I have different controls in here actually. This is the plain text. And here, how did you hear about us? This is where I have my drop down list, flexible drop down list, content control, where participants are allowed to also enter their own information. They are not restricted to the information in the list. And here I have a date. Okay, all right, so here is a picture. Participants can key in their picture, and over here is my drop down list where participants are restricted to the list in here. All right, so the same thing I have over here, the same thing I do also have here. And then this point is where participants can actually key in their information. I do have a rich text content control here. They can format and customize it the way they want, and this particular one, it's a plain text content control. All right, so I do have most of the controls in this form, so participants are welcome to play around with it. So this particular side is thank you for participating. So that is it for the form. All right, so to complete this, I'll head over to the ribbon where I have the protect group. So here I'm going to click on the protect button. So if you look at the right hand side, you will see the form that comes out there, restricted dating. So let's focus on the number 2, dating restriction. So I'll put a check on that button, and here I can choose from the list that comes out there. So there are several lists: track changes, comment, filling in forms. So I want participants to only have the access to fill in forms. So I'll click on that, filling in forms. Now in the third one, number 3, start enforcement. So I'll click on yes, start enforcement. Now you would see that a new dialog box comes out where I can enter a password. So I am happy not putting a password, so I'm going to go ahead and click on the OK, and it's restricted. So I'll click on close that section. So if I scroll through, you would see that I cannot change, I cannot delete anything. Participants are not allowed to delete any information except here. So I'll just go ahead and type in my name. So you would see there, all right, I can put a check here I can go ahead, type in information. So that is it. So if I scroll through, participants cannot remove or delete anything here. They are only allowed to delete the information they had keyed in, all right, to modify their responses. So back to the section, they can choose, all right. So that is it when it comes to form filling. So I am happy with what I have here, creating my fillable form. I am happy with what I have in this form. So I think it is good. I can go ahead and send it out to participants or advertise this particular radio competition. But there's something I need you to understand here. Participants can fill in this form and send it to you by email. They can also fill it in and also print and send to you. So whichever one they decide to do, it works. All right, I hope this particular video you find it interesting, and let me know what other videos you like me to make, what other tutorials you would like me to make. And for all those who have been subscribing, I have seen all of you. Thank you for always being around. Thank you for my new subscribers. And don't forget to drop your comment. I'll be right there in the comment section responding to all your questions. And I will see you in my next video for more tech tips like this. Bye.